Media station. This hour of Idaho Sports Talk is sponsored by Ada County Paramedics. Emergencies are scary, but with Vital Ride, your ambulance bill won't be. 1 year membership only $75 and covers your entire household. After your insurance kicks in, most members owe nothing. See Ada County Paramedics now.
All right, what's going on? And welcome, hour number 2 of just a spectacular edition of what we hope is your favorite sports talk radio program, Idaho Sports Talk, Prater and the Ball Game, the huge college football news about the 12-team playoff that is on the horizon. We'll be giving you a chance to become a Boise State season ticket holder this hour. We're going to talk Beavers, serious Beaver conversation this hour as well. And what was the question we had for our listeners early to text on in, Prater?
Do you like beavers?
No, it was, who is the Beaver master?
Oh, yeah. Who's the beaver expert we're going to bring on here in about 10, 15 minutes? BJ Raines once got bumped for a punk rocker. Now he's a lead-in to a beaver expert.
Yes, he is. The talk about highlights, and that's going to go right to the top of BJ's resume for sure. But we're packed today. We're having a ton of fun, and we do welcome in BJ Raines to the program. It's our Bronco Nation News Report. Subscribe to Bronco Nation News. BJ Raines live from Corvallis, getting ready. And BJ, first off, welcome. But before we get into this, just quickly, your thoughts. It's like the Christmas present you get on Christmas Eve that you never even asked for, this college football 12-team playoff expansion. Your thoughts, my man?
Oh, it's huge for a school like Boise State. And really, it makes you wonder in terms of the power conference and the money and all that. Like, is a team like UCF and Cincinnati, I mean, are they really better off now? I mean, you look at a school like Boise State, you can make an argument that a Boise State has a better chance to get the college football playoff than a team like UCF or Cincinnati right now. To have to win the Big 12 or get in the top 12 or be a group of 5 team and go undefeated and get one of the spots in. I mean, I think Boise State's in a really, really good spot right now. Whether they end up in a Power 5 conference, great. But if they don't, all of a sudden they've got a legit chance, because I think we can all look at 3, 4, maybe 5 group of 5 teams that frankly should be on Boise State's level here moving forward. Boise State should be by far one of the top group of 5 teams, which I think puts them in a really good spot every year to have a chance to get into the playoff.
BJ, I think you make a good point. If you're a Boise State fan at this point, do you not want to be Power 5?
I was thinking about that as I was saying it. And it was one of those, do I really want to say this as I'm saying it? And I'm not quite, I'll say it's maybe not quite a slam dunk as it once was. I mean, I guess you're sitting pretty either way. I mean, you'll certainly take the upgrade in money. You certainly probably take the Power 5 if you can get it. But I mean, you can make a really strong argument that like in 2024, Boise State will have a better chance than UCF to get in the playoff now that they only have to win their conference. And, one group of 5 conference of the top 6, is guaranteed to get in. And so, no, I think you probably still take the money, and you probably still, want to get in that conference for the long-term stability and to help all the other athletic programs and things like that long-term. But from a strictly football and strictly getting to the playoff perspective, which is the goal, I think Boise State's in a great spot. I think whatever happens, you take the Power 5 or you say, hey, we didn't get it, but you know what? We got a chance to be in the playoff every year, and I think that's a really, really big deal now.
All right, BJ, well said. Let's get to our topic point here, talking Boise State, Oregon State tomorrow. And, we're hearing, it's unicorn season, sunshine, lollipops, puppy dogs, BJ. Everybody's excited about this football team. And it starts with the head football coach, Andy Avalos. Let's play this clip, JP, and then talk with BJ on the back end.
We're very pleased with where we're at. We obviously, like I said, we put in a tremendous amount of work throughout the year, not just for this game, but to build a team and a team that works together, a team that is physical, a team that can be explosive, a team that has the ability to play with the relentless passion on the field.
Wow.
That sounds like they're ready for the college football playoff. Where are the unicorns, rainbows, and lollipops?
Yeah, he's fired up. He's ready to go. He's happy with his football team, Prater.
Let's ruin his mood, BJ. Let's ruin his mood. Let's talk negative stuff.
Well, I mean, I think you can look at a lot of the areas last year, and I think we all assume some things are going to be better. But if we're playing the negative side, playing the other side, we still need to see it. We still need to see them run the football effectively, consistently. We still need to see them stop the run consistently. I mean, they finished 77th or whatever it was in run defense last year. It got better as the season went on, but 77th. I mean, they still gave up almost 160 yards per game on the ground average. That needs to get better. And so running the football, we all assume with the O-line, we all assume with George Helani healthy that's going to be a big difference. But, early in the season, I mean, they're rushing for like 40, 50 yards a game in some of those games. So that, we all assume it's going to be better, but really what we see tomorrow night is you want to see him stop the run. You want to see him find a way to run the football. Those would be the two big ones for me. And I also think like the whole Khalil Shakir being gone factor, like we're just putting a lot of faith in Billy Bowens and Steph Cobbs and some of these guys and just assuming they're going to be able to go from, Latrell Caples had 4 catches last year, and we're thinking he's going to go to 30 or 40, and some of these guys are just going to have to take massive jumps up in production. I think it's certainly possible, but I think that I don't think it's maybe a given that we should expect all these receivers to just step right in and have huge seasons.
Ball game, I'm going to ask you this question. If you think Boise State can get better at one area right now, where would it be?
One area right now, I like what they're going to do rushing the passer. Okay, I think George Tarlas in a healthy 100% Dimitri Washington, throw in the 3 technique pass rushing ability of Scott Matlock, situational pass rushers like Isaiah Banya, maybe a Devin Wright or a Cortez Hogan's makes a play there somewhere. I'm looking to see a better pass rush, and I think we're going to get it. I just love George Tarlas, and it feels like Dimitri really, truly is 100%. If those two guys are playing at like an all Mountain West caliber level, I think they're going to have a pretty darn good pass rush.
What is your number one issue with this team, Paige? Where's the number one concern if you're a Boise State fan? Which position group?
Oh, in terms of, I was going to say the touchdown percentage in the red zone is my overall thing. If you look at last year's stats, and again, we've seen no scrimmages, we've seen 20 minutes of practice, so it's hard for us to look at some of this stuff and go, well, they need to be better in this area because we just haven't seen any of it this fall, so we have to go back to last year. But if we're going with a position group, I'm sticking with the wide receivers. I think that's a very interesting position for me because there's been a lot of talk, there's been a lot of spreading the ball around and all this, but, Khalil Shakir was a 5th round or whatever it was NFL draft pick. I mean, Cedric Wilson is an NFL draft pick. I mean, they've lost some really, really good receivers the last couple of years. And just to assume that Steph Cobbs and Billy Bowens are going to step up and be these guys, I'm not saying they won't. I guess I'm just not quite as sold maybe as everybody else that it's just going to be such an easy, smooth transition losing Khalil Shakir. I think his loss is going to be early in the season. When there's a big 3rd down tomorrow night, Hank Bachmeier, who's the guy? Maybe it's who's the guy right now. I mean, maybe you guys have an idea, but I don't know who the guy is on 3rd and 3 early in the 4th quarter when they're trying to put a drive together. Like, where's Hank Bachmeier looking? I mean, who is the go-to guy? Maybe it's Steph Cobbs at this point. Maybe it's Billy Bowens, but I just don't know. That guy needs to be established for me. And I don't think they may know it privately, but we have no idea who it is right now.
3rd and 3, that's a no-brainer for me. That's George Helani because he's going to be on the field, and I expect that dude to get at least 4 yards. So that situation would be George Helani. My 2 position groups of concern are the backup quarterback. They still are very unproven. Hey, the health and the welfare of this football team is one play away from Hank Bachmeier getting hurt because I think Taylon Green and or Sam Vidlac, if they have to play any significant amount of time, that's going to cost Boise State a football game or 2 or 3. They have to develop more. And I know that they're doing what they can, but the backup quarterback position to me is of major concern. And I know I've been saying this, and I feel bad when I say it, but I'm still a little worried about the middle of that defense, the linebackers, both of them. Noah's going to be okay. He's not going to be great. Schramm's made great progress, but I don't see him as a dominant difference maker, or even with Hawkins as his backup. So I worry a little bit about the softness of this defense in the middle of this defense.
I think that's fair. BJ, you with Prater on that one? I think those are fair assessments there. I mean, the middle linebacker and the will linebacker there. I mean, I think if there's a weakness at any level of this defense, probably a linebacker.
Yeah, I mean, they need Zeke Noah to be much better this year. There's no doubt about that. He was just a step slow last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he was a little overweight or just was injured or what was going on last year, but it just seemed like Zeke Noah was a half a second behind on a lot of plays, missing a lot of tackles last year. And love Zeke Noah, great guy, obviously, and it means a lot to this team. But, once you lose Riley Wimpy, you're counting on DJ Schramm to take over a starting spot there. I certainly think the linebacker is one spot that you'd like to see. And certainly Zeke Noah needs to have the best year of his career. And Spencer Danielson has said that Zeke Noah needs to be better this year, and they expect him to be.
I also worry about this, and it only takes one play, one time in the season, a brand new long snapper. We've never really had to worry about the long snapper or the holder. The long snapper did have some issues early, but the long snapper, this Hutton kid, I don't know anything about him. The coaches have obviously given some faith. If he has one mistake at the wrong time during this season, that's a killer.
Tall and skinny, right, BJ? The new long snapper, the Hutton kid.
6'6".
Yeah, isn't he 6'6", like 230?
Yeah, definitely interesting there. And I'll throw punting into the mix. I mean, you got a freshman punter from Australia getting ready to punt in his first college game tomorrow. I mean, I guess maybe that's more of an unknown than something that needs to be better. But I'm a little curious just from an unknown standpoint. Like, what's this going to look like, man? Like an Aussie punter now for Boise State. Like, I'm intrigued. And you're putting a lot of faith in a kid, his true freshman first college game on the road in the Pac-12. All of a sudden, you're starting punter. I think that's going to be an interesting thing tomorrow as well.
BJ, me and Prater were talking about it earlier, and I'll probably leave you with this. We were talking about what's this fan base going to be like if they lose tomorrow and whatever. I mean, if they lose a close one on a missed field goal or if they get routed, well, I'm sure it's going to be different, but you've been covering this team for over a decade now. Prater's been doing it for several decades. And where do you think, are they going to give this team any slack whatsoever if they do lose?
Well, it depends how they lose, but no, probably not. You guys will have that'll be Can't Miss Radio on the post-game show for you guys if they lose that and people are calling in after the game. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they win this game by double digits. So I think it's going to be Party City on Saturday after the game. But if they were to lose, I mean, it depends how it happens. But if it's some of the same issues that caused them problems last year, then you're going to say, okay, they're 7-6 now in the Andy Avalos era, and here we go again. And Andy Avalos by no means is on the hot seat, but he certainly could use a quick start. And as we've said, you win this game, you're going to probably win the next few. Probably get back in the top 25 and get ranked and be 4-0 going into those big conference games against San Diego State and Fresno State. So there's a lot riding on tomorrow's game. But you'll have the diehards probably calling for Tim Plow's job if they don't score 40 points tomorrow.
Where are you? Like you're in a hotel room right now? Like,
well, funny you ask. Actually, I'm in a hotel room, and my kid is in town. He flew in to see me, but he was taking a nap in the room, and so I am actually like in the stairwell out in the hall of the hotel room here, so I wouldn't wake up my kid for his nap. So
that's nice of you. Good dad.
There's the stairs right there. Yeah,
great sports writer, BJ. We always appreciate the Bronco Nation News Report on Fridays here, and I know people will be at BroncoNationNews.com and enjoying your coverage, and I'm sure you have a lot of it for tomorrow. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, always a pleasure, guys. Should be fun tomorrow, and good luck to you guys as well on the pre- and post-game shows and everything, and let's have a fun season.
Good stuff. BJ Rains, Bronco Nation News Report every Friday on Prater and the Ball Game. Beaver Talk. Cold-hearted Beaver Talk. We have a beaver expert coming on. I don't even know what animal group a beaver is in. I don't know. What do we know about beavers? We're going to know everything in a couple of minutes on Idaho Sports Talk with Prater and the Ball Game.
From the Beacon Plumbing